Hi, I'm Peter Burrell, the author of Marriage by the Book. I was recently on a podcast called Better Than Not, where we discussed that book and my book Free of Judgment. Here's some clips.
God parts the Red Sea in front of him,
Mm-hmm.
and they cross it, and they're witnessing this.
Mm.
And it's almost 3 days later, they're saying, "Oh, you're not leading us properly, and we're starving, and
Let's
we
go
wanna
back.
go back
Yeah,
to Egypt."
yeah, it's kind of, at least we ate there.
To me, that is such a stunning, and I mean stunning example of who we are. Like, if you had witnessed that,
Mm-hmm.
and that unbelievable scene, because it is unbelievable when you think,
Yeah.
to have an ocean, this isn't like a pond across the street. This is like a gigantic body of water that opens up, and you got across it, and within 3 days, whatever time it is, you've kind of forgotten that happened, and now you're back to yourself and what I don't have. It's kind of
Yeah.
and it happens
Yeah.
over and over and over again in the Old Testament, correct? So it's
Yeah.
it's a bizarre thing.
Yeah. Well, you think about it, 50 days into that journey, God gives them the law.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened on the day they received the law? 3,000 people died. 3,000 died that day. Okay. So that was they celebrated that day every year. There was a festival for it. It was actually a high Sabbath where they had a day off, and it was a mandatory Sabbath. It was one of the 7 a year that they had, and they would all have to come back to Jerusalem or make an effort to and celebrate that together. And so they'd all gather together on that day, and you mark 7 Sabbaths for after the day of the harvest of the first fruits, and we come to just after Passover, and we lead into the first fruits, and the unleavened bread, the first fruits. Then you can mark 7 Sabbaths, 49 days, and on the first day of the week after the 7th Sabbath, so the Sunday, which we celebrate as Pentecost.
Yes, okay.
That's the giving of the law, but we celebrate the giving of the Spirit. What happened on the day the Spirit was given? 3,000 people got saved. The exact opposite.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the mirror image of one is by flesh and one is by spirit. We can't walk by the flesh. You have to walk by the Spirit.
And it's like, when you say that, you're kind of amazing me, because it's like that you landed there, because in a recent discussion we were in, group discussion, one person brought up Pentecost Sunday.
Yeah.
And yep, good, okay. And one person brought up casting by lots. And I was in this Joshua study, and one of the questions was different places in the Bible where they casted by lots. And in Acts 1, that's the last time they casted by lots to make the decision on who would be Judas's replacement, as you know, right?
Yeah.
And it's like Acts 2 is Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit comes into the disciples. And I said, that's a stunning, dividing line in the Bible. What happened? And that's, to me, where now, after that, the Holy Spirit, we have the introduction of Saul and Paul, and almost Tim Keller, I think, called it subversive. How Paul came and started to talk completely different than what the belief system was. It's not much wonder he was in so much tribulation when he spoke, because he's really challenging the norm in a staggering way, right?
It's a different world.
It's amazing to me. It was he had to write that. God giving him those words to put in front of us, and yet 2,000 years later, I still think we're far away from there.
It's the same. Well, it's the same battle. We're having the same battle all the time.
Yes.
You're reading Hebrews. Hebrews was never meant for you and I to read. We're not supposed to be that familiar with the law. Why are we so familiar with the law?
Yes.
Hebrews was written to the Hebrews, right? Yep. I really think it was written along with the book of Galatians. I think it's the same author, same thing, written at the same time. And there was an extra, they would send that package, read this to the Galatians, read this to the Hebrews that are there. It's the same story, but this is to you guys. Don't get caught up with what these guys are doing. These are these guys. Okay, let's re-educate you. Here's where we are. But most Christians are ministered to more now by the book of Hebrews, because we're so in tune to the law, which was never supposed to be for us. That was not for us. Paul went out of his way, and especially Galatians, Ephesians, Colossians. Colossians is a great example of not only did he save you from the law, He put the law on the cross itself. So what law are you breaking? He says, it's funny. It says that is it Colossians 2? He says, he says, what is it now? The law that was written in ordinances, he placed that on the cross, taking it away from within us. So he actually took away the law that made it a crime. So even if you did steal, if there's no crime for stealing, what law did you transcend? Well, this sounds like you're giving them a license to sin. Yeah, now you're getting it. That's what they said to Paul. So if you're not thinking that, you're not getting the gospel, right?
No.
The gospel is there is no law. And this is one of the revelations I talk about in that judgment book. I got that understanding one day when I was driving home I was commuting from Vancouver to Lyndon, Washington every day, just outside of Lyndon.
Man.
And so you had to cross the border. So freeway traffic, Port Mann, whatever, then down 176, cross the border, then deal with the border. And then I just bomb along H Street, which runs between Blaine and Lyndon. And it's kind of this country road, kind of winding, trees right up to the edge of the road. And I'm having a great day because it's an hour and a half I get to study in my brain, right?
Yep.
And God's just showing me how it's like the law isn't there. I think it's like the speed limits. What if there was no speed limits? You could just go as fast as you wanted because you're speeding, but you're not really speeding because there's no law. And as I'm thinking this, I'm just hallelujahing in my head, and my foot's going a little bit further and further down the gas pedal. And I'm going along H Street Road, and I heard, as if it was in the same car, could have been in the back seat. It was my pickup truck I was in. And this voice that says, "You better slow down." And as soon as I heard that, there's a manual transmission pickup, old S15 Chevy.
Yeah.
I took my foot off the gas, and because of the gear I was in, it kind of went, slowed down. Like I slowed down quite a bit, but before I even got to the brake pedal, slowed down. Just as I did, a deer went right in front of my truck.
Oh, wow.
I still think I might have hit it, but it was that close.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe it. Had I have not taken my foot off the gas, I was doing 50 miles an hour probably on H Street. I would have just nailed this a big deer too. It would have been through it wasn't a big truck. It was an S15.
Oh, man.
Not a small truck. I would have been gone. And I thought, my lightning fast brain got this idea. Okay, I'm not under the law, but I am under something.
Yes.
So I just changed kingdoms. I was under the kingdom of the enemy, the God of this world.
Yes.
And the dictates of the flesh. And I've been translated into the kingdom of his dear son. And now I need to be led by the Spirit. That's the voice I'm supposed to be listening to. And interestingly enough, it was saying the same thing as a speed sign. Slow down. So I will, if I follow the Spirit, I won't fulfill the lust of the flesh. That's what he says, right?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
But it's not that I'm under the law, because the law would bring judgment, which brings condemnation, which brings separation. Who told you you're naked?
No, it's
not God, it's you. So we don't work, and it's not a problem with the law. I'm not criticizing the law. The law is not the problem, like Paul says in Galatians. You're the problem. Not the law. The problem's with you. Okay, it just doesn't work with you. I can't give my dog chocolate. Chocolate's still awesome, but my dog will be shooting out both ends, right? It's just not good for dogs, right?
No, absolutely.
And that's the thing with this. So it just works that way. And that day I thought, okay, I really need to be in tune with the Holy Spirit. I got to be led by the Spirit in everything. Day to day, moment to moment.
Absolutely.
Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you've got a question, post it or email me. There's a link below.